Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can already tell, if you saw my thumbnail or the title of this video, you obviously know what this video is about. And if you haven't, then you literally must be living under a rock. I'm sorry. This is basically pretty much everywhere on any social media site that we have now. From YouTube to TikTok to Instagram to Twitter. It's everywhere. You cannot get away from this. And before we get started in this video, I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm not doing this to jump on a bandwagon that's pretty much already in place or anything like that. I'm not doing this for publicity or anything like that. But this is my voice. I have a voice and I have so much to share, whether it be personal experience or thoughts and everything. I want to put my voice out there and to stand up for what is right and what is wrong, because this instance cannot happen ever again. This is my voice, and I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. Basically, on May 25th of this year, 2020, a man by the name of George Floyd was murdered in cold blood, all because of a police officer who put his knee on his neck. The man was murdered by a horrible, horrible case of police brutality. And there's no way to sugarcoat this, that like, oh, it was an accident. No. This was not an accident or a misunderstanding. When I saw that video of George Floyd's death being literally recorded throughout every single second, I mean, I have never felt more disgusted and more sad about a person. I've never felt this type of hurt, disgust, and anger that I've had in my heart up until now. I had never seen anything like this before. I have never seen another person doing this heinous act and so compassionless and so heartless and so hateful. To be that hateful and being borderline racist. I mean, like, I always knew that I hate to put the race card in it, but it's facts and it's true and it has to be exposed. Maybe it's because how the way I was raised and how I was taught by my lovely mother and father who have raised me and my sister right. Trying not to get emotional, but for me, I just don't understand, and I cannot comprehend why certain amount of white people can be so racist and have prejudices in their hearts. I can't comprehend that. And the fact that I said that, I mean, I already know I'm probably gonna get dislikes in this video, but honestly, I don't care. This has to be exposed, and this has to be brought to justice, because this particular stuff has been plaguing our country for nearly centuries. For any white person who don't believe that racism is an issue or don't acknowledge that white privilege exists, y'all must be a twat. And it's probably because you're white and you have the easy life. But people like African Americans, people like me, who are from the Hispanic community, people who are Asian, people who are Native American, we have all been oppressed and discriminated against your kind. Yeah, I, including my sister, we have both experienced racism. Not in the extreme extent of how the way the African community has had it throughout so many years and even up till now. But it's still racism regardless. One of the stories that I can remember out of the top of my head is when my sister and I were both in middle school and everything. And my sister wanted to be a part of this volleyball team of this particular school. And I remember how hard she worked to be in the volleyball team. She spent so much amount of time in summer, throughout the entire summer, in volleyball classes. She was a damn good volleyball player, if I do say so myself. By the time the school year started and volleyball tryouts were going on within the school, my sister tried out for it. It's not my opinion only. A couple of staff members who were watching, they saw my sister playing volleyball, and she was the best out of all of the other girls. that were trying out. After the volleyball tryouts were over and they posted the final results, majority of the girls who got into the team were all white. I can also think of another story when my family and I used to live in an all-white neighborhood, and when I was in elementary school, literally there was this girl who literally hated me and my family's guts because we were Mexican. None of the kids associated with us because we were different. My mother realized that too, and she noticed that most of the moms in that elementary school were all white and they wanted to do it their own way. It wasn't until we all went into middle school and high school when my mom implemented change and just basically stood up for not only herself and not only for me and for my sister and everything, but for pretty much anyone who have been oppressed, judged, and discriminated by these particular white people. My dad experienced it too. However, he's the kind of a guy where he just basically doesn't care. My father has like this confidence that he doesn't care of like what other people say about him because he knows what kind of a person that he is. If there's one thing that my father basically can't stand is treating someone different because of the religion, color of the skin, or social status. When my family and I used to live in the all-white neighborhood and people would ask my father, like, who lives here? Who lives in this house? And my dad would say, I do, and so does my family. And the neighbors would say, oh, we had no idea. We thought that you were their gardener. And so have I. I've experienced racism as well. One of my personal stories is, I'll never forget it, is when we were in US history and we were learning about the entire civil rights movement and when segregation was around. My amazing US history teacher, I can't remember his name, but he thought of a unique kind of exercise to start in the beginning of class that he did with all of his other classes and see the end results and everything. And what he basically said is, when I call out your name, please leave the classroom and stand outside in the hallway. And he got to a couple of kids' names, and then he called my name, and I left the classroom and just stood outside in the hallway. The people who were with me in the hallway were obviously the two foreign exchange students that were in the class. One was from Indonesia, and the other one, she was from Russia, and there was about 6 black people standing outside with me in the hallway. 2 of them were from Vietnam and Japan, and then the other 5 kids were all like me, who are from the Hispanic community, and then obviously one Native American. So all of these kids were outside with me, and everyone else inside the classroom, they were all white. And we just stood outside in the hallway for about like a good 5 minutes, and then we went back inside the classroom, and then he asked each one of us how we felt standing outside there in the hallway. And when he asked each one of us, the replies were kind of the same, but when he got to me, I said I felt bad and I felt like I didn't matter, but I'm not surprised because my grandfather had experienced the same exact things. And our history teacher basically told us that he was exactly our age when the entire civil rights movement was going on, and he felt so disgusted to see how certain amount of white people would treat the other kinds of people. He had a couple of friends who were being treated differently because of the color of their skin, and he just couldn't stand on how the way certain of his white people would treat the other minorities differently. My teacher was like one of those rare instances where a white person stood up for us and was there with us. I know I sound like I'm getting off topic here, but I mean, like, do you guys get the point? Any minority or any person who's a different color other than white experiences racism. My mom has stories about it, my dad has stories about it, my sister has stories about it, I have stories about it, and I'm sure most people who are watching this video who is a different color, y'all have stories, and you know it. And this is something that white people don't want to talk about it or be associated with it when they know deep down it's true. It's true. It's sad, but true. Back on to George Floyd. His life was taken away all through the act of police brutality and the fact that this white cop had his knee on George's neck and did nothing about it. Even the other 3 officers who were around him, they did nothing. They could have easily told him, like, hey, get off of his neck, he cannot breathe. But they did nothing. These kind of acts cannot be swept under the rug or slip away. No. This literally has to be brought to justice. And sure as hell, there has to be changes within our government. With not just in our government, but who we are as a society. If we don't do it now, so many years from now, our grandchildren and children will be sitting here and talking about it the same exact way. And that's not the kind of world I sure as hell do not want to leave behind. When I'm gone, I would hope that the world would be a much better place where we would all say that that was just all in the past. Things are different now. But in the reality in me, if this stuff still keeps going on, there isn't going to be that much of a change. I know what you guys are probably going to say, what can I do to help? What can I do to help this? Seems like it's hopeless. Well, it's not. You guys can do something about this, and we cannot, as a society, we can't let this happen ever again. There is a way to implement change, and it all starts with you. I'll try to find some links that I can put in the description in this video to help the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and by donating your time and money, maybe this can help, little by little. No matter how big or how small, it all counts. Any of the protesters out there who are protesting, please stay safe and keep on marching, because we still have a long way to go. And you guys might not see it or not, but you guys are making history, and you guys are making some progress. Even though it may get tiring and everything like that, you guys are making progress. Martin Luther King Jr. once said that riots and protesting are the voices of the unheard. This is exactly what's going on right now. We as a society are not being heard, especially the African American community. They haven't been heard for nearly 2 centuries. And that's not right. That's not fair. Because they are human just like you and me. Whenever you cut yourself, we all bleed the same exact red blood. For many of you people who see black and white, all I see is just red, because we all bleed the same exact blood. As an American citizen, it is established in the Constitution that we have not just freedom of speech and everything like that, but the fact is that everyone is created equally. We are all created equally. We are all the same. We have the same exact rights as you do. So for any person who has racism and prejudice against their hearts, you guys have got to get over it. It's already 2020. You have to get over it and change yourself and your behavior. You have to get over it because we're not going anywhere. We've been here. Bottom line, we've accepted you. So why can't you accept us? To my African American brothers and sisters in these tough times, I am here with you. I can hear you. We all can hear you. I am here for you. We're all here for you. We are with you in every step of the way. We cannot let this happen anymore. Y'all need justice and y'all need to be heard. You guys are equal just like me. We are all created equally. And if nobody is gonna stand up for you, then we will. We are not gonna stop fighting this fight until it is over, until everything is brought to justice. We are not gonna stop until we see that silver lining, until we finally have a time, an era of peace. We will keep on marching and we will keep on fighting until we get that change. And if there is one final thing I want to say about this entire situation, is that we cannot be divided like this anymore. We cannot have the same exact issues like this anymore. Racism, white supremacy has no place in this world. Everyone is created equally, and we all have worth and value. Anyone who is watching this video. And if you made it to this part of the video, thank you guys for hearing me out. And I'm just happy that I can get my voice out there, because God knows I have a voice. And I do hope and pray that there will be change and that there will be something done. And even though we still have a long way to go, this is a start. Thank you guys for watching and making it this part of the video, and I'll see you guys next time.